Hello everybody and welcome back. This is episode number 15 of the Amber Army YouTube Newport County Russian Takeover series on Football Manager 2017, and we're about to start season 8. We've got 2 seasons left after this one to get into the Premier League, obviously with the target that we set right at the very start of this. So we click on Newport County. We're on the 2nd of July. Have they done any business yet? They have. Fair play. They brought in Muhammad Bisha from Southampton on loan, and Rafa Mujica, I think that's how you pronounce it, I don't know, bought him for 1.9 million from Bolton. He's a striker. Maybe that was the one area in which they were lacking last year after selling their star striker. Modo Toure is gone. Whoever that was, Adelakoun, is gone on a free transfer. I say Toure, it's a bit of a shame really. He didn't really amount to an awful lot whilst at the club. But there you go, a lot of players have moved on. Plenty of them have come and gone. So now, where are we looking now? We are looking Championship. Looking at the company in which Newport County are keeping. And one thing I'm going to very quickly do, I am going to pass this information on, but somebody asked me, I think it was 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, County got into the semi-final of the Checker Trade Trophy. I think this is it because they got out of the group stage for once there. Checker Trade Trophy second round. Ended up having a semi-final game against Arsenal under 23s, which they won. So Newport County actually won the Checker Trade Trophy back in the 2021 season. So I do apologise for those of you who would have wanted to know the outcome of that. It certainly skipped past my list of priorities to look at, obviously being the Checker Trade Trophy of course. But there we go, we're about to start a brand new championship season. So let's have a little look at Newport County again one last time before we move on to the end of the transfer window. Obviously Mike Newell left the managerial role as Steve Abbott took over. So he's been there for 105 days. If you remember in the last episode, County nearly went down out of the Championship. Steve Abbott turned it round ever so slightly to prevent that from happening after a really poor run with Mike Newell. But look at these managers they've gone through. Obviously Flynn was sacked in November 2017. Wayne Hatswell took over as caretaker. Tony Mowbray took over, sacked David Flitcroft as caretaker. Then Phil Parkinson sacked David Flitcroft as caretaker again. Mike Newell sacked Robert Kelly, whoever he is, as caretaker, and then Steve Abbott sacked. So it just goes to show these Russian guys, they're not afraid to sack their managers. Not afraid at all. So Steve Abbott, I think you've got to aim for a playoff position this year, or I think the axe will be wielded again. But let's see what further business they do and what start they make in season number 8. I'll see you guys there. Right then, so we're on the 2nd of September now. As you can see, they haven't started great. They haven't started overly poorly. They've won 1, drawn 2, lost 1. But losing 3-0 to Swindon is a bit of a poor show considering where Swindon are. Drawing with Walsall and Birmingham, yeah. Beating Sunderland is a good result though. So it goes to show there's a bit of up and down, but the important thing is who have they signed? Who are they going to have for the first part of this season? So obviously they got at the point where they signed Rafa Mujica. I think that's how you're going to pronounce it. We've got James Murphy on loan from Wolves, 20-year-old centre-back. Johan Barbet, I think that's how you're going to pronounce that one. From Brentford, he is a central defender. A 30-year-old central defender, a bit of experience in the team. That's always smart. Ryan Brewster from Luton, attacking midfielder, striker. I'd imagine he played more as a striker, looking at the finishing rating that he could be having there, and he is a fast one as well. So could be a shrewd little signing that one. Where are we? Pete Bogard on loan from Brighton, another centre back on loan, but a young one this time. Whoever that is from Lamia, Stavros Yeah. That's a very appropriate name for someone playing for Newport County. For those of you who don't follow the county week in, week 8, you won't understand what that means, but those of you who do follow the county week in, week 8 will. So there he is. He's a Greek left back. Looking like they've made some pretty decent signings here, because they picked up Solly March, and he's only 29. And he's the kind of calibre of player that you need to get yourself to the top end of the championship. So Eddie Vicente is a young 17-year-old right back. I imagine he'll be one for the future. Colin Wells is a young-ish left back that they've paid, how much? 1 million for, from Ipswich. Ben Bonnell, an Welsh attacking central midfielder. And James Madison from Burton is another attacking midfield centre. So, the tactics. So, if I remember right, I was quite happy with the tactics that the new manager, got to remind me of his name because I've never heard of him before, Steve Abbott, that's him. So Steve Abbott, I quite like the tactics that he was employing. And looking at the team that they put out, Solly March just behind that striker, I'm liking it. Rob Hall, who's he again? Oh yeah. So, have they got the right ingredients to go forward now? Jed Steer in goal still. It's only 30, mind you. That's decent. So they got a decent team. They're at a decent age. The only thing I'm thinking is Oscar Threlgeld could have lost his place here because of the midfielders that they've signed. That'd be a disappointment considering everything he's done for the club. And he's worth 2.5 million, mind. So I don't think that's the last we'll see of him, to be honest. Like I say, they haven't started great, but it's just the start. I mean, they had, we didn't even think they were going to even get close to promotion this season. They got promoted from League One, if you remember the first half of their season. But like I say, I mean, there's still a long time to go in this season. They've only played 4 games. They've got another 42 left. So let's see where they are at the end of November. We'll get a better gauge for what kind of season they're going to have at that point. So, guys, wait there a sec. Actually, I missed one thing. If we have a look at there, the EFL Cup, they went out to West Brom 4-1 at home. So that's not that's not good. But like I say, we'll see at the end of November and see where they are on the table then. Okay then, so we're on the 30th of November and it's bad news. Newport County are rock bottom of the English Sky Bet Championship. Steve Abbott is still in charge, but I can't imagine he's going to be for much longer. I mean, you look at these results and they've just been losing left, right and centre. So they went out of the EFL Cup and they went and lost to Fulham after that. And they've only won twice since then, got 2 draws and they've lost the rest. It's a very, very pitiful effort from them. Well, it's a bit of a sorry way to end the episode, to be honest with you. I mean, the Russians, as we say, they're not afraid to wield the axe, and it looks as though they're going to have to. They've won 3 games out of 19. They've lost 12 out of that 19, and most unforgivably, one of them was against Cardiff. So have a little look at the performances from some of these players then. I mean, the average ratings, well, you can't really count Chivarella because he's only played 1 game. But some of these average ratings are not actually that bad. But then I suppose if you look at it then as well, losing by, look, they lost 3-2. Well, no, 3-1 is 2 clear goals, but 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1. So we're only losing the games by the odd goal. And the few games that they won were only by 1 goal as well. But then if you look at the last 3, 3-0, 3-1, 2-0, so the losses are getting worse. Well, I can't see Steve Abbott staying in the job for much longer. And are they going to get the appointment right next time round if he does lose his job? Well, I suppose the next episode of the season will be concluded. It'll all be revealed in that. But yeah, it's a sorry old state at the moment for our Newport County. I mean, obviously we got another 2 seasons after this one to get to the Premier League to hit the target. But looking like they're going to drop down a division. It's just not going to happen at all if that happens. But anyway, we'll call it time on that one. We'll look at some of the player stats more towards the end of the season. It's going to be a bit depressing to see no Newport County players anywhere near the top. But that's the one thing that gets me as well. I mean, all of the county managers up until this point none of them have really been on more than 2,000 or 3,000 a week. Steve Abbott is an unproven manager, and they just threw in a £10,750 a week contract at him. Don't get it. Anyway, like I said, next episode all will be concluded, and we'll see if they can save themselves and have another stab at it next season. But until then, it's cheerio for now. Thanks all for watching.